Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I'm going to be talking about Shadowrun and IRL cloning. All right, in real life cloning. All right, so I saw one of the most Shadowrun occurrences of my entire life happen just last week in international news. So let me give you the 411 on what occurred last week. And the reason why I'm talking about this is I am just an absolute huge Shadowrun fan. Shadowrun is really exciting world to me. I absolutely love that tabletop role-playing game. Played a lot, spent a lot of time playing that game in the 90s. Sometimes spending it in the year 2000. I ran a cipher rule system Shadowrun game about 2-3 years ago. You can actually watch that on YouTube. Enjoy if you're a Shadowrun fan. But I'm a huge Shadowrun fan, and I really love the game of Shadowrun. It's really special and wonderful, and I really like it a lot. And I wanted to talk to you because I saw something that was very Shadowrun in our own real life world last week. So let's talk about it. All right. So I saw the most Shadowrun news event ever happened in the real world last week. All right, so the president of Nigeria, all right, a nation in Africa, his name is Muhammadu Buhari, okay? Now, President Buhari, the president of Nigeria is 76 years old, okay? Last year, or actually I think it was earlier this year in 2018, he spent 3 months on what he termed a medical vacation. And because he was old and needed medical aid, he left his own country and went to Europe for, I think it was a period of about 3 months, right? And so while he was there, he got surgery and then he convalesced, which means he recovered, right? So he got surgery and then he was convalescing, right? Now all of this sounds normal, and it should not. I don't think it should be alarming, but there's a lot of lessons that come out of this too, right? But here's what happened. So he's the president of Nigeria, and I get, the more I think about it, the more I could see where this was really problematic. So one, if you need medical help, why wouldn't you get it in your own nation, right? Like, so one points away from you as a leader because you're saying, oh, I need medical help, but no doctors in my country can do it. That's a problem. Like, like if you're going to show faith in your nation and faith in the people in your nation, maybe you should get your medical help in your own country, right? Like that seems pretty obvious to me. So I think that was the start of the problem, was showing a lack of faith in the medical abilities contained within his own nation, right? So that, I think that's problem number one, right? So then you go away for 3 months, right? Well, an extended period of time. I'm not exactly sure how long he was out there, but it wasn't a short period of time. It wasn't a couple of days. This was like weeks or months, right? So one, you're a president, right? An American president could not leave America for weeks or months, right? And the reason why is, you just can't do that. If you're a president, you're expected to be there and lead your people, right? You can't take huge, long, extended vacations. I have a tech job, and I don't even leave my job for more than 2 weeks max, right? And even that, there has to be incredible preparation for it, right? So he goes away, right, to do this, to have surgery and convalesce, right? Well, while he's there, the people in Nigeria start saying, hey, is the president dead? Maybe we should have the vice president take over. And people are like, what? This is getting really scary, right? And so the vice president's like, no, the president isn't dead. He got surgery and he's convalescing. And people are like, that sounds a little suspicious, right? So he came back. So he continues to stay away. And in Nigeria, this belief grew among the people that the president was dead. This was proven to be false when there were pictures of the president being shown convalescing, right? Well, a new narrative appeared within Nigeria that the President Buhari, was cloned, and that when he returned to Nigeria, he was not President Buhari, but he was a clone that had been created in another country right? And that the person who was walking and talking and leading Nigeria was a clone. Now, if that is not Shadowrun, I have never heard what is. Holy cows, that is the most Shadowrun story I've ever heard. It gets better, though. It's really fascinating what happened. So Buhari, you would think that, oh, well, if you have a narrative in your country, a rumor in your country that you as a person really are no longer leading your country, and that a clone is leading in your stead. Well, you gotta handle this, right? So Buhari decided that the best place to handle this was at a climate change conference in Poland. So he got up and he made a speech where he laughed a couple of times. He goes, there's a ignorant and irreligious belief in my country that I am a clone. Well, I can tell you right now, I am, I'm paraphrasing, this is not exact words, but this is exact words here. He's like, I assure you, this is the real me, I assure you, right? And he did use the word clone, right? So he was assuring people that this is the real me, I assure you, I'm not a clone, right? I'm like, holy cows, is this a world leader, a president of a nation with 190 million people in it, telling people that he's not a clone? I'm like, this seems crazy, but it's not that crazy. We're going to talk about why. So I was like, holy cows, this is incredible. Like this, I've never heard anything like this, right? Truly incredible, right? So this is a world leader, a president of Nigeria, telling people that he is not a clone, right? And you're like, whoa, this is like, what's going on, right? So it's pretty incredible. So one of the problems with what he said is, well, if you're a clone, wasn't that exactly what you would say if you were a clone? Like, just telling people this is the real me, I assure you, means nothing. You can't, your words mean nothing because a clone would say that, right? So, I was surprised he didn't say, here's some kind of scientific test to show that I'm not a clone, or to give more evidence that he wasn't a clone. His evidence was literally, his dealing with this issue was to say, this is the real me, I assure you, I'm not a clone. I'm like, that doesn't seem like a great way to approach this. Now, he said that people believing this were being ignorant and irreligious. I don't think that's the case. And the reason why is, I believe this, in some ways, this is a problem of his own making, in that, if you're president of a country with 190 million people, you don't leave for more than a week, 2 weeks max, right? Like, you can't spend, and even that is, and if possible, you should get the medical help you need within your own nation. And if you can't get the medical need within your own nation, that's a serious problem, right? Like, you should, if you have that kind of research, you have 190 people, you should get that, or even do the surgery in your own nation. Bring those doctors to you. You have 190 million people in Nigeria. This is like, I was amazed to hear this. It's incredible, right? So all of this is just, it's an incredible occurrence, right? But the thing, I think one of the things that is most fascinating and incredible about this story is the people who thought this, it wasn't that ignorant and it wasn't irreligious. And the reason why is, people overall now are saying, with CRISPR technology and with cloning technology, right, with biometrics, and with many of these on the bleeding edge technologies, what's going to happen with them? Well, we're seeing it right now. Generally, advances in cloning are going to come to us when people say, and this just happened in China. So the first CRISPR children were born in China. It was announced, there was an announcement made. This Chinese scientist came forward and said, here are these two twins. The CRISPR technology was used on them before they were born. And then just saying this as a statement, not asking for permission, saying, we've already done this. And essentially saying, in my opinion, what he was saying was, designer babies aren't a topic that we're going to discuss. It's already here. It's done, right? And so that's the issue, is cloning technology has been bouncing around for 10 or 20 years. And people are saying, when the first clones are made, nobody's going to say, hey, here, we're starting our clones. The clones are half done, and here's the clones. They're just going to say, here's the clones, or they're not even going to say, here's the clones. There's just going to be clones here. So basically, I think what happened with Nigeria is that people are saying, we don't trust the scientific community to give us warning or to tell us actual real facts in real time about the progression of cutting edge biomedical technology. They're going to, the countries that have the least ethics and the least morals are going to bring these scientific horror shows to us already fully made, or it will be exposed that they have been using them in ways that are not correct, right? And or not, that haven't been agreed on by all the nations of the world. And the idea that people would think this and be wrong has already been shown to be, no, they're not wrong. This is exactly what just happened in China. CRISPR technology was used on children without international consent, and it was just sprung on people, right? So the Nigerians were not that off to think it was possible that a world leader could be cloned. It is absolutely possible. And when we see cloning, it's not going to come from countries that are like, we carefully, cautiously use this cutting edge technology and we've kept the world apprised as we've done it. It's going to come from people who are building horrible things in shady labs, and that it's going to be exposed. It's not going to be rolled out in a way that is actually beneficial to the international community. So I have much sympathy for the people of Nigeria for thinking that this situation happened. To me, the lessons to be learned is, if you are a president or a world leader, get your medical help in your own country. Bring the doctors to you. Make sure that you are assuring your people that you are okay and that everything is on the up and up. You can't just leave your country for weeks or months and think that's going to be okay. It's clearly not. It allows a narrative to build, and it allows people to worry if you're alive or dead, right? And so leadership requires absolute clear communication at all times, right? So I think that's the lesson to be learned. And the other thing is, man, oh man, things from Shadowrun are leaping from the pages of that book directly into IRL, which is pretty incredible in real life, if you're not familiar with that acronym. It's pretty incredible. So I was just wonderfully delighted to see this incredible Shadowrun story leap from the pages right into IRL last week. My sympathy to the Nigerian people. I feel like I would definitely be worried if my president was gone for weeks or months. I would be very, very alarmed. And so my condolences to you. I hope everything's okay. And Buhari, I would say to President Buhari, you got to do a little more than just say, I assure you it's the real me. It's the real me, I assure you. Because that's what a clone would say. You got to realize that, dude. You got to think this through, right? So, absolutely incredible occurrence. Thanks for hearing me out on this one. And have a wonderful day. And take care. Bye-bye.